Those plans at the Environmental Protection Agency to redefine the Clean Water Act with a substantial impact potentially on rural residents certainly have mobilized farm organizations. We have two reports on that this weekend. First of all, Bob Stallman at the American Farm Bureau Federation was up on Capitol Hill the other day offering his views, and then he shared comments with us about those plans at the EPA.
In essence, this rule and the scope of it gives federal veto authority over any land use activities or what happens on private property in many cases. It puts that in the hand of the federal government, and we just don't think that was the intent of the Clean Water Act, number one. But number two, it's not good for our economy. When you look at the kind of restrictions that can be sort of on an ad hoc basis applied to activities under this rule, given its broad nature, you could restrict everything from home building to actual farming and ranching, and everything in between. And we need to be sure that we have some clarity with the Supreme Court rulings that basically restricted EPA's authority under the Clean Water Act, and that the rule that is ultimately put forth reflects those restrictions as opposed to trying to figure out a way to get around the restrictions provided by the Supreme Court rulings.
Bob told us he believes it is very likely that farmers and others aligned with them will wind up in front of the U.S. Supreme Court on this issue. And at the end of the day, will they be able to prevail?
Well, I think the first thing we have to do is make everybody aware of what this rule could do. And once again, you have to pull back the curtain and get down to looking at the words, how they've been interpreted in the past and how they may be interpreted in the future. It is EPA's and the Corps' desire, and the interest groups that support this rule's desire, to make it as broad as possible and give EPA as much authority as possible. And so we have to get that message out. We have to talk about the specifics of that. We will be commenting on the rule. It is in the comment phase now. It's not final. And hopefully those comments will carry some weight for any final rule that gets put out. But at the end of the day, to really stop this, it's going to take the Congress exercising their oversight authority. And basically, if I were the Congress, I would be concerned that there's a federal agency that is basically making law. This agency is negating Congress's authority and ability to make the law of the land.
Farm Bureau leaders are the only ones